I think this movie might actually do well at the box office, at least if when I'm recording this, so maybe by the time this comes out, I'm wrong. Since the theater I usually go see movies were sold out on opening night, so that must mean something good, and I hope it does find success, because Wes Anderson's new movie is a great movie, or at least a really good one. More on that in a bit, but right now, I easily recommend it. Please go watch this. After watching 3 movies I would definitely say are just okay and rewatchable at best, I don't really know what else to say other than this is a really good movie if you like a really good movie. Okay, I really shouldn't phrase it like that. That's actually kind of mean. Or should I? I don't know. I'm tired. I had to do the other 3 reviews, and I'm busy with college work and, you know, my job in general. So, well, I mean, I'm not doing my job. I'm off now. But the point is, if you have time, go see this movie instead of something terrible. Now, I think this is the first, well, actually, now I think about it, I should say, well, I don't really know what expectations I had going in other than I hoped I liked it. I think this is the first Wes Anderson movie I've seen on the big screen other than Isle of Dogs. I don't know why. The French Dispatch didn't really interest me, and while I could throw darts on possible reasons why, sometimes I'm just not interested. So seeing the trailer for this one sold me on my curiosity alone. The cast, the setup, good reviews. I don't know what it was that the main reason that made me want to go see it, but at the same time, I guess I don't need a reason. I decided to do something because I wanted to do it. Makes me think about this movie in that way. A movie about questioning its own point of being told. When we search for reasons or we don't care about reasons, we accept things as is, or never get the answers we're looking for. I mean, why I watch this movie isn't on that level, but with that said, what is this movie about? I promise it's that, and I knew I was at a Wes Anderson movie when the movie began, where it's up that a televised program of a fictional play is being told, the story within the story, which I'll come back into. The main story within the story, is that a group of people are in the fictional desert town of Asteroid City, where several intelligent kids who make groundbreaking scientific inventions or devices are being rewarded for it, but suddenly everything changes when an alien shows up, and people react to it like a Wes Anderson character can only do. The framing device is told by the host, played by Bryan Cranson, about how this play was written, brought to life, the actors involved, the director's input, as it blends reality and fiction. Where it's probably not as confusing as I describe it, it is a weird movie, and that's what works about it. Various storylines are told in the play, such as war photographer Augie Steenbeck being recently widowed and trying to understand how to deal with his emotions for his family's sake, including his 3 young daughters, his son Woodrow, played by Jake Ryan, his father-in-law, played by Tom Hanks, or as I like to call him, his father-in-law Tom Hanks, more on him later, as he meets famous actress Midge Campbell, played by Scarlett Johansson, her daughter, played by Maya Hawke. There is a lot of characters in this story. They are the main characters of the story, and recapping this whole movie will take a while, so I should just say what I thought about the movie before I drive myself nuts. I really like this movie, but I don't love this movie, and I know why. This movie has this theme of existentialism, where characters are going through pivotal moments in their lives, whether it be finding love, going through grief, huge achievements, huge setbacks, understanding the unknown, how to handle it. It's a lot, and it flows naturally, but it is a lot. If there was anything that holds me back from loving it, it's the movie's ending, where I don't know if what the message was going for works with this movie's ending, but I'll get back to that in a bit. Since I do really like this movie, and I think it's great for the most part. In fact, I think it's great for most of it. Hell, it's a great movie, so of course most of it is great. And it's because it's hilarious. I mean, not everyone liked the deadpan humor, or at least the way Wes Anderson makes the movie, where, you know, it could feel one-note or repetitive, and I think what makes this work, well, not work, what makes it work for his movies overall is that the characters feel unique beyond just recognizing the actors involved. How one reacts to a situation might seem the same, or it does feel the same as the other, but I still know what makes them different beyond that at their core, what makes each character different, the motivations or the character traits that aren't obvious when they talk, but paying attention, you can tell a difference. Well, I wouldn't call this movie that, you know, easy to explain what happens. Everyone has got something to do, and they do it great. I don't know how much of this humor is quotable or that memorable, but I laughed like 90% of the time in this movie. And if a joke didn't laugh for me, someone else did. But these jokes were killing me. The Brainiac kids trying to do this memory game was a real good showcase for their acting skills. Hell, I didn't realize one of them was Sophia Lillis until I saw her name in the credits. Or the nonchalant reactions by characters to insane shit that no one else reacts to, and still makes it that each character reacts in a way true to their character. I don't want to spoil the joke, so let's just say my favorite one was this one where Bryan Cranston breaks the fourth wall, which sometimes people just look at the fourth wall in a way where it's not talking to the audience, but since it's contextualized as a film play, it makes sense that way. I have to praise the production design and cinematography, the way so much stuff happens in one take, and these costumes or areas. What can I say that isn't obvious looking at this movie? I love this cast, like 20 well-known names in a movie just because of the director's name. That's something to just appreciate, to get that far, where it's like, yes, the biggest people in the world want to be in your movie just because of your name, in a movie that's $25 million for movies that people usually get paid twice that budget for it just to be in. Or I think, maybe like an ounce of that budget. The point is, I appreciate it. And that means something good on its own. Everyone shines in the way, for the most part. I will say, I know Bill Murray dropped out of this movie for COVID reasons, and the whole time Tom Hanks was on screen. I thought he just felt like he was playing a Bill Murray character, and thus only saw him as Tom Hanks. Not to say neither to play against type, it's just a me thing. Also, the ending is not how I do it, I guess. So a lot of stuff feels like set up for something to all come together, which it honestly doesn't. Where I know this movie is about question reason. If people are who they are, or is there a reason to them at all? But best way to put it without spoilers, the movie has an epilogue where it doesn't really show what happens to a lot of characters that I would have liked to see what happened, and what does feels kind of nothing, kind of empty, where I don't know in a movie about trying to understand a reason what its own point was amounting to. It didn't ruin the movie. It's still hilarious. The funniest movie of the year, no question. But for its dramatic stuff, at least with Schwarzenegger's character, I didn't really care. I cared, I guess, fine enough. It just, again, I didn't know what it was amounting to, because there is this interesting scene, what happens to him, where I'm like, so, I have to think about it or rewatch it again, but it's not just something I was dismissed as nothing, but it felt like nothing, I don't know. Look, other than that, the dramatic stuff, it goes either way, because, I don't want to say, well, the story doesn't matter, it's just a comedy, but there is a point to the story. It just, I don't know if I got the point, or maybe there is no point at all, and I just overthinking it. I don't know. Because with all that said, I still think everyone else makes this movie great. It's not perfect, but I would watch this again more so than other Wes Anderson films. This might be his funniest movie, and sure, it's not going to work if you just don't like Wes Anderson's style, but if you do, I think this is great, and I really, really liked it for so many reasons that I didn't mention. There's just so much to go off of, despite, what I've said. And I really want to see if people just watch it for themselves, going in, knowing not as much as I said. It's so much. It could feel like a lot of the time, and its ending may not be how I would have ended it, but in the end, I left in a good mood from a good time, laughing my ass off, and I couldn't like it enough. Asteroid City is, dare I say, a really good movie that you should see instead of a bad movie. I feel like I'm the first person to say that. Or I'm not, and I'm just really tired. Well, that's what happens when you do 4 reviews back to back because you're busy in life, and this stuff just happens. So I hope listening to my opinion made you want to go see this movie. I give Asteroid City an 8 out of 10.